Hi guys, this video will be about the legend Muhammad Ali. Stay for the end of the video to learn more about Muhammad Ali. Cassius Clay is a slave name. I didn't choose it and I don't want it. I am Muhammad Ali, a free name. It means beloved of God, and I insist people use it when people speak to me and of me. Ali was born in Louisville, Kentucky in 1942. He was named after his father, Cassius Marcellus Clay Sr., who was named after the 19th-century abolitionist and politician Cassius Clay. Ali would later change his name after joining the Nation of Islam. He subsequently converted to Sunni Islam in 1975. Early boxing career. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches, Ali had a highly unorthodox style for a heavyweight boxer. Rather than the normal boxing style of carrying the hands high to defend the face, he instead relied on his quick feet and ability to avoid a punch. In Louisville, October 29, 1960, Cassius Clay won his first professional fight. He won a 6-round decision over Tunney Hunsaker, who was the police chief of Fayetteville, West Virginia. From 1960 to 1963, the young fighter amassed a record of 19-0, with 15 knockouts. He defeated such boxers as Tony Esperti, Jim Robinson, Donnie Fleeman, Alonzo Johnson, George Logan, Willie Bezmanoff, Lamar Clark, who had won his previous 40 bouts by knockout, Doug Jones, and Henry Cooper. Among Clay's victories were versus Sonny Banks, who knocked him down during the bout, Alejandro Lavarante, and the aged Archie Moore, a boxing legend who had fought over 200 previous fights, and who had been Clay's trainer prior to Angelo Dundee.
Vietnam War. In 1964, Ali failed the Armed Forces qualifying test because his writing and spelling skills were inadequate. However, in early 1966, the tests were revised and Ali was reclassified 1A. He refused to serve in the United States Army during the Vietnam War as a conscientious objector, because, war is against the teachings of the Holy Koran. I'm not trying to dodge the draft. We are not supposed to take part in no wars unless declared by Allah or the Messenger. We don't take part in Christian wars or wars of any unbelievers.
In 1970, Ali was finally able to get a boxing license. With the help of a state senator, he was granted a license to box in Georgia because it was the only state in America without a boxing commission. In October 1970, he returned to stop Jerry Quarry on a cut after 3 rounds. Shortly after the Quarry fight, the New York State Supreme Court ruled that Ali was unjustly denied a boxing license. Once again able to fight in New York, he fought Oscar Bonavena at Madison Square Garden in December 1970. After a tough 14 rounds, Ali stopped Bonavena in the 15th, paving the way for a title fight against Joe Frazier. The fight of the century. Ali and Frazier fought each other on March 8, 1971, at Madison Square Garden. The fight, known as the Fight of the Century, was one of the most eagerly anticipated bouts of all time and remains one of the most famous. It featured 2 skilled, undefeated fighters, both of whom had reasonable claims to the heavyweight crown. The fight lived up to the hype, and Frazier punctuated his victory by flooring Ali with a hard left hook in the 15th and final round and won on points. Frank Sinatra, unable to acquire a ringside seat, took photos of the match for Life magazine. Legendary boxing announcer Don Dunphy and actor and boxing aficionado Burt Lancaster called the action for the broadcast, which reached millions of people. Frazier eventually won the fight and retained the title with a unanimous decision, dealing Ali his first professional loss. Despite an impressive performance, Ali may have still been suffering from the effects of ring rust due to his long layoff. In 1973, after a string of victories over the top heavyweight opposition in a campaign to force a rematch with Frazier, Ali split 2 bouts with Ken Norton. In the bout that Ali lost to Norton, Ali suffered a broken jaw. Muhammad Ali in retirement. Ali was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in the early 1980s, following which his motor functions began a slow decline. Although Ali's doctors disagreed during the 1980s and 1990s about whether his symptoms were caused by boxing and whether or not his condition was degenerative, he was ultimately diagnosed with pugilistic Parkinson's syndrome. By late 2005 it was reported that Ali's condition was notably worsening. According to the documentary, When We Were Kings, when Ali was asked about whether he has any regrets about boxing due to his disability, he responded that if he didn't box he would still be a painter in Louisville, Kentucky. Muhammad Ali died on 3 June 2016, from a respiratory illness, a condition that was complicated by Parkinson's disease. Will they ever have another fighter who writes poems, predicts rounds, beats everybody, makes people laugh, makes people cry and is as tall and extra pretty as me?